And that's fine, and many people appreciated just whatever. Was it as detailed as somebody as Paul would be able to do in terms of explaining? No. So the answer is, Paul's in direct contact with all of the vendors, and I'm talking about WGI, Hedricks, the architect, the interior decorator, and whatever. And whenever anything goes on that needs something, he brings it back to the board. Can you imagine if we were doing what Len Cohen was doing, going up and calling the permitting department every day? There were 6 of us making phone calls to the permitting department. Okay? Point is, somebody's got to be the point person. All right? So that's another thing that needs to be, as much as we may say it in an email or something, they're going to believe that we don't. Just to pursue one other point with this, I received an email from a resident who was pissed off about something else, but decided I'm going to get my vengeance by writing about this project. Okay? I haven't answered that individual yet, because as he's asking the questions, and a lot of them are in here, and a lot of them were in the original email, he gets to a point and he says, it is obvious from this blah, 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 that, and he's referring to the board, and of course, that you are incompetent, stupid, and gross negligence. Grossly negligent. So I haven't responded to him, but I'm thinking of sending an email, to be honest, to say to him, there's no sense in me responding to you, because since I'm so incompetent, so stupid, and so grossly negligent, I have no answers for you. Bottom line is, but there's that handful that are nasty. There are some that ask you a question, because one, they're just biting at the bit, as we all are, to get started. And we understand that. And I'll finish up by saying that when they bring up, and it's in here too, anything we do or delays that may be happening, okay, that what looks like we're holding up everything is because we need to, as a board, which you would expect, we need to protect the community, the association, and our residents before, and I'll talk myself, before I sign something. Because no matter what you sign, and what will happen going forward, somebody will be out there saying, oh, you should never have signed that. Okay? And you know the old story, turn it over to the attorneys, you should never sign anything. And yet you have to have the attorneys, because they have to make sure it's there. So these are the things that you need to help us get out, which we're going to try and do more of, all right? Which probably will raise more questions, all right? But if they come in as reasonable questions, we can give you an answer. You may not like the answer, because but as soon as we get that thing started, things will quiet down a little bit. They probably will. A little bits about that too. Okay.
Could I say something as a homeowner and a member of the Board of Sorrento? I have some very nice people living in our community, and they just don't right now they're preoccupied with what's going on with COVID, but they don't get it. And you know what? I don't get it. Even though I'm on the board, I don't get it, okay? I need an overview of what has happened from the time we collected the money in 2018 to now. I need an overview of it. I need to be able to go back to each of the homeowners. I sit with a group of people, and they're questioning. I need to be able to understand what's going on and relate it to them. It's so important. It is very important. That's our job, as I see it. And we've been remiss on. Wait, I'm not finished.
The issue with us telling the next person, who then tells the next person, who then tells the next person, comes back to me as a phone call that says, if we're spending $7 million, why are we reusing old brick drains? Because if you go back to when you said it, there was a rationale. It would be used behind the scenes. You don't see them. You don't know they're even there, but you were upfront enough to say we're going to do something. If you didn't say anything about it, nobody would even know. Nobody would know. It would be there, but you were trying to make a a positive point that we're trying to save money, and it came back as, why are we using old stuff, and why is this happening? I mean, it was a very negative phone call that I got from one of your neighbors, and I answered him and put him back into, a more positive state, because I somehow believe that I translate those things well and communicate
So-
them back well.
Go ahead.
So let's talk about where we go from here, not where we've been and the
I
attacks.
think it's
Charlie,
important to know.
my advice is, I know it's very personal to you. You can't take it personally, and because it's putting you on the defensive, and then you come across as being aggressive, and that's not the way you
Well,
want to.
maybe,
the person
maybe,
you're talking
about.
maybe that's
So
the
we-
way to do
so
it.
Charlie,
Well, it may be, I don't know, if you think as a board, you wanna get the lawyers involved, you wanna claim slander or whatever it is that they're doing, that's fine, you deal with that. I wanna say, how do we go from today to tomorrow to the next day in a preventive mode, not getting defensive over what's already happened. What's happened has happened, and we can't stop what's
So-
happened.
That's
So
not
we
gonna
need to say,
satisfy.
what's the next step?
So
And I've
just,
said to you any number of times, in letters, and I say all the time, the key to this is what you said at the beginning, is communication.
Yeah.
We have to get a steady stream of, set the stage, here's where we are today, and is it weekly? Is it minutia? Does it come across as too much information? I don't know, but is it a weekly email, a weekly e-blast, every second week? I don't know what it's gonna take, but we need to have, at least for the 200 people that read that email, all of them on an even keel. The other 800 that don't read the email, that just wanna bitch and moan and get secondhand information, I don't know what to do about it.
so